It's our honor to invite Dr. Zaitun Natahain Binti Mohd Diah, Veterinary Officer and Head of the Animal Welfare Development Unit at the Department of Veterinary Service Malaysia, to deliver her presentation and share her valuable insights on the Animal Welfare Act 2015. Please join me to warmly welcome Dr. Zaitun.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to our distinguished chairperson, honored guests, respected members of the floor. Thank you for having us today. And I would like to express my congratulations to MNAWF because of the inspiring song just now. Congratulations. Okay, good afternoon. I would like to begin with a simple question to all respected members of the floor. How many of you have a pet at home or have had a pet in some point in your life? I'm sure many hands would go up. Whether it is a cat, a bird, a rabbit, or even farm animals, most of us have experienced the special connections that humans can have with animals. They bring us companionship, comfort, and sometimes even emotional support during difficult times. In recent years, we have seen a growing interest in pet ownership across Malaysia. We are also hearing more and more discussions about pet-friendly housing, pet-friendly public spaces, pet-friendly businesses, and pet-friendly communities. This is a positive development. However, as the pet ownership grows, an important question arises. Are we equally growing in our sense of responsibility towards animals? This is where the Animal Welfare Act 2015 becomes highly relevant. Today, I would like to share how this act is helping Malaysia move towards a more responsible and pet-inclusive society. Ladies and gentlemen, when people hear the term animal welfare, many immediately think about preventing cruelty. Of course, preventing cruelty is important, but animal welfare is actually much more broader than that. Animal welfare means ensuring that animals under our care have what they need to live healthy and comfortable lives. This includes proper food, clean water, suitable shelter, veterinary care, and protection from unnecessary pain and suffering. Think about it this way. If we decide to bring an animal into our lives, whether as a pet or for other purposes, we are also accepting responsibility for its well-being. Ownership is not only about the enjoyment we receive from animals. It is also about the duty of care we owe them. The Animal Welfare Act 2015 marked a significant milestone in Malaysia's approach to animal welfare. The Act was introduced to strengthen the protection of animals in Malaysia and to promote responsible animal ownership. The Act provides a legal framework that clearly states what is expected from those who own, care for, transport, breed, and manage animals. As we can see here, Section 24 of the Act makes it compulsory for animal owners and custodians to fulfill fundamental animal needs, which include its need for suitable environment, suitable diet, its ability to exhibit normal behavior patterns, its need to be housed with or apart from other animals, and the need for protection from pain, suffering, injury, and disease. At its core, the message is very simple. If you are responsible for an animal, you are responsible for its welfare. The Act recognizes that animals are living beings that deserve proper care and protection. It also sends a strong signal that cruelty, neglect, and abandonment are unacceptable. 5 sections in the Act are provisions on offences that are categorized as cruelty to animals. You can see that the section begins from section 29 to section 33. In the section 29, there are at least 21 cruelty offences described in the Act. All right? While legislation is important, laws alone cannot change attitude. What truly makes a difference is when people understand the purpose behind the law and choose to embrace responsible behavior. Ladies and gentlemen, we have seen recently increasing interest in pet-friendly developments, pet-friendly cafes, and community events involving pets. Shopping areas are creating pet-friendly zones. Parks are welcoming pets and their owners. Many businesses are recognizing that pets are part of modern family life. This reflects changing expectations within the society. However, these opportunities can only continue when pet owners demonstrate responsible behavior and commitment to animal welfare. I would like to suggest that being pet inclusive is not simply about allowing pets into more places. It is about creating an environment where people feel comfortable sharing spaces with pets because they trust that pet owners will act responsibly. For example, when a dog is properly vaccinated and under control, people feel safer. When pet owners clean up after their pets, public spaces remain pleasant for everyone. When owners provide proper care and training, pets are less likely to create nuisance or safety concerns. In other words, responsible ownership creates trust. And trust is what allows pet-inclusive communities to thrive. Without responsibility, inclusivity becomes difficult to sustain. Although we have made progress in these past few years, there are still challenges that require our attention. One of the most visible challenges is pet abandonment. Many of us have seen stray animals wandering in neighborhoods, markets, or public spaces. Behind every abandoned animal is usually a story of irresponsible ownership. Sometimes people acquire pets without fully understanding the long-term commitment involved. Sometimes circumstances change and owners are unable or unwilling to continue caring for their pets. Unfortunately, the animals are often the ones that suffer the consequences. Another challenge is the lack of awareness about animal welfare obligations. Some people may not intentionally neglect their pets, but they may not fully understand what proper care requires. This is why education remains so important. People need knowledge as much as they need regulations. When discussing animal welfare, many people tend to think about enforcement agencies. Certainly, enforcement is important. The Department of Veterinary Services play a critical role in strengthening the Animal Welfare Act 2015 through policy, legislations, and guidelines development, inspections, investigations, licensing, awareness programs, and stakeholder engagement. However, building a culture of animal welfare cannot be achieved by enforcement agencies alone. Veterinarians play an important role in educating owners and promoting preventive health care. Animal welfare organizations provide valuable support, advocacy, and public education. Local authorities contribute to community management and responsible pet ownership initiatives. Industry players influence animal welfare standards through breeding, retail, boarding, and animal-related services, educational institutions can help cultivate compassion and responsibility among younger generations. And of course, every pet owner has a direct role in ensuring that the animals under their care receive proper attention and welfare. In reality, animal welfare is a shared responsibility. As Malaysia continues to evolve, I believe we have an opportunity to build communities that are not only pet-friendly, but also responsible, compassionate, and sustainable. The goal should not be merely to comply with the law. The goal should be to create a culture where good animal welfare practices become second nature. A culture where people think carefully before acquiring a pet. A culture where communities support responsible ownership. A culture where animals are treated with respect and dignity. If we can achieve this, the benefits extend far beyond animals themselves. We create healthier communities, we reduce welfare issues, we strengthen public trust, and we foster greater compassion within the society. Ladies and gentlemen, the Animal Welfare Act 2015 provides an important foundation for protecting animals and promoting responsible ownership in Malaysia. But ultimately, the success of any legislation depends on the people. It depends on our willingness to translate legal requirements into everyday actions. As we continue our journey towards more pet-inclusive communities, let us remember that inclusion and responsibility must always go hand in hand. Before I end, I would like to leave you with one final thought. The future of a pet-inclusive Malaysia does not depend solely on laws, policies, or enforcement. It depends on the choices we make every day as owners, professionals, community leaders, and citizens. When responsibility comes first, animal welfare flourishes, and pet-inclusive communities become possible. We create communities that are better not only for animals, but for everyone. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a productive and successful symposium. Thank you very much.